As of 10 o'clock. Protests started at about noon today in Seattle, but turned destructive right around 4 p.m. when someone lit a Seattle police cruiser. National Guard have been called up to come into Seattle. 75 have been.
I'm with WCCO.
Assembly. That was after some in the crowd threw rocks and bottles at officers.
Yes, I vape. Get over it. All right, fellas and ladies, welcome back to the channel. I just want to talk to you guys real quick because, as you guys know, it's all over the news, it's all over everything, and basically there's chaos everywhere. And as you can tell by the intro, it's getting out of hand, and it has been for months now. And I think Portland is coming up on day 91 of straight protests, peaceful protests, but we can call it what it actually is, riots. And it's getting out of hand, and you're starting to see a lot of groups beginning to pop up, and they call themselves patriot groups, but we know exactly what those are as well, militias. And they are everywhere. And I'm not going to talk about any specific one, but you guys pretty much know exactly who it is that I'm talking about. You see them all the time, and they're always counter protesting, and they're always there. And it's just starting to get crazy out there, you know what I mean? So I guess I just wanted to know where you guys stand. Where are you on this kind of cultural tug of war between the far extremist left and the far extremist right? And because it's hard to find some kind of a common ground now at this point, I feel the cops, their hands are tied. You know, they can't really do a whole lot as far as what is going on all over the place, especially in like Portland. And that's why it's still happening. That's why it's still fucking happening. And I feel like that is 100% on the blame of the governors, and they're not doing anything. They're taking no control over what's happening. So your average Joes like me and you have to sit back and think, what if this hits home? You know what I mean? And if you know anything about guns right now, you know it's almost impossible to get one because almost everywhere is out of them, and it's almost impossible to come up with ammo. And this is a big thing because there's a lot of people freaking out because of all the crazy shit going on top of coronavirus. And it's just starting to get to a point where it's like, something big is just about to happen. And I don't want to be like like apocalyptic or anything. I don't feel like it's going to get to that, but there is a severe shift that I feel like is just about to happen, and it could go either way. And people don't really want to talk about this a whole lot, but like there's these groups that are popping up all over the place, and it's just growing, and militias are a thing again. And there's always been militias, but just in the past 3 months, I think I saw there's a statistic on there where every state has like chicken pox of just all these known groups that are starting to pop up, and they're just average people. They're getting all their guns, they're getting all their gear, plate carriers and shit like this, and they're basically prepping for when everything goes crazy and when everything goes south. And I don't fucking blame them. I don't at all. And that's just my own personal way of like, I will do whatever I can to make sure that the backyard is good. And but it's crazy to see. It's crazy to watch. And I think for the most part, people generally are good, and people generally want everybody to be happy, and everyone to have all the liberties that they are due, you know? And so, but all you hear about right now is just all the crazy shit. It's all over the news. And I feel like for once, it's kind of nice not to hear so much about COVID, but this is not any fucking better now that I think about it, because it's just, elections are coming, and either way, no matter how this goes, something crazy is going to happen at the end of them. There's a trial coming that everybody knows about, and if that does not go well, if those officers do not get charged, it's gonna get real bad real fast. And so I can see why there's a lot of people out there freaking out and wanting to go get guns and go get ammo and just stockpiling. And then they're also grouping up and they're becoming preppers, but in more like a militant way, you know? And so I think basically I feel like this is pretty much what's going to happen. As long as we continue to not be able to control what's going on in Portland and like everywhere else, like I think it's still going on in Texas. Minneapolis is still fucking crazy. And if we can't get if we can't get this shit to stop, if the state cannot get this shit to stop, the people are going to come up and they're going to stop it, and it's gonna get messy and it's gonna happen. And so their time is up, man. You know, this shit's got to stop, and you got a lot of people that are antsy to ensure that it stops. And what do? Are you gonna do it? Am I gonna do it? Well, we'll see, you know. So I just kind of want to open up the talk. I want to open this up. I want you to tell me what you think, you know what I mean? And if you're not of this country, as a person on the outside looking in and seeing all the crazy shit happening here, tell me what you think, you know what I mean? Like, how is that to see what's happening here in arguably one of the greatest countries ever? I'm sorry, but it's true. But like, yeah, we're screwed up, and yeah, there's change that has to happen, and there's a lot of shit happening here that is not good, but I still will always say this is the greatest country ever. So anyway, make sure you comment, make sure you tell me what you think, and make sure you hit that subscribe. And until next time, you guys, I will be around. Hopefully. Crazy world.